What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, the lovely Fiat 500 Classic Edition little car. Absolutely love this. This isn't just any Fiat 500, though. This is a little EV Fiat 500. That's a little electric motor there, not that you can tell through all of the rust and everything like that. But this is a little EV Fiat 500. It has got the Proton ER engine in it, ER motor in it, sorry, it's not an engine, with 239 horsepower. We did get it from the auction, and we just overpaid for it ever so slightly. 2533 could sell it now for 2297. But that's not important because we're not selling it now. We are going to work on this car today. I don't know why I went for that. I want to go in here. This is the parts you can buy for this car, bath badges, different bumpers, clamshells, trunks, different things like that. There's a few options, not many for this one, but very good job by Payne putting them all in and labeling things. This is an excellent little mod. Looking forward to getting stuck into it. We do have to go get it cleaned, so let's head over to the car wash. Let's thank Payne once more. Well done, Payne. Link is in the description below. Go and grab this one yourself. But let's get this one over to the car wash. Let's get it started. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash. Let's get it cleaned. We already can see that it's pretty much red everywhere underneath, and it is missing a lot of panels, so there shouldn't be any wrong coloured ones anywhere. Doesn't look like it. That's a weird texture inside there. Anyway, let's get the interior done. Let's get it back on the lift, and let's get that electric motor ripped out and start stripping everything down. Being an electric motor, there's no oil to drain. Let's jump in and have a look and see what we're going to need to take out to get this removed. Probably that wheel, most definitely that wheel, so we can get the drive shaft out, so we can get that motor ripped out. Where's it gone? That's what I want. The rear drive axle. Is there one on the other side? No, it is missing, so I should now theoretically be able to rip that engine out. Let's give it a go. Like I'm stuck. There we go. Move you over. Let's have a look. Will you just rip out? Nice collision there. No, you must remove the gearbox. Right, okay. I'm not very good at these. Can I get it from here, or do I have to be underneath? No, I have to be underneath. Never mind. Let's try that again. Gearbox. Is that big piece on the side there? Off you come. Straight out. I mean, is there really any point? Shall I just rip the rest of this end motor out? There's nothing else left to it. All I think I've got to take out is that, and that, which I can't get because I have to get it from the engine bay. So I think we don't need the crane on this one. I'm just going to pop you away. Off you go. And we'll just strip it out manually, the old school way. There you go. And that's all the motor out. Easy as that. Very simple. Wasn't quite expecting to do it that way, but never mind. We'll get it rebuilt later on. It is no issue at all. Now, let's get on. Let's get the suspension stripped. Let's get you up in the air. We've already had a little bit of a look at the rear suspension. It's a double wishbone set up at the back, which I quite like. But what have we got at the front? Let's have a look. Let's get this first wheel off and have our first inspection of the front suspension of the little Fiat 500. Single wishbone, lower suspension arm, one shock. You've got no cross member in the middle. Yeah, no cross member. Pretty basic. Let's start getting some of it stripped off. Obviously, we've got the brake calipers, brake pads, the front wheel hub, and the brake pad. We all know how to strip this down very simply, very easily. Obviously, you've got to take off your sway bar at front end links before you can take off your shocks on this one because it is attached. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the front end. There's a bit to strip, nothing too special. Obviously, outer tie rod before inner tie rod, and both sides before the steering rack. The other side's not there, so it doesn't matter. But, yeah, let's get down and have a look at the rear. Disc brakes, great. I love disc brakes. Got the double wishbone with the suspension, and obviously you got the drive axles going through to the engine, or to the motor itself. I need to stop calling it an engine. It's not an engine. It's a motor. Can't be an engine if it's electric. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the suspension, so let's get it all stripped down. I'll get on and finish this, and then I was going to say we'll clear the engine bay, but doesn't look like there's anything in it. But next up, we'll get all the body panels off, and then we'll get that motor stripped. We don't need to strip it, it's already stripped, so there's not really much to do. I've got to get some stuff repaired, body panel stuff done, so we'll get all of that done. Then we'll head over to the paint shop, pick a lovely colour, and then we'll build that electric motor back up, ready to get dropped back in. Hopefully with some fancy looking colours on it. We'll see. I'll meet you back here in just a little while when I've stripped all of this off. See you in a minute. Engine is stripped, suspension is stripped. As I said, there was nothing in the engine bay, but let's just take a look and see what we were missing. So we're missing obviously the radiator and probably the fan housing, a coolant reservoir, and then up the front we've got 2 EV batteries, the main battery, the ABS pump and module, and then the brake servo. No fuse boxes, nothing else missing like that. That's looking pretty good. Got to get all that back on later, but let's get this body stripped. There's not a lot to it, so let's just start. Get off that trunk and the tail light. Oh, started moving before I took it off. Tail lights, body window, and yeah, I actually think, oh no, that's a thing. Yeah, the badge is a thing. I remembered that. And that window, and I think that's probably it. Just got to get that one seat out of the interior. So let's grab you. Off you come. Out you come even. Off you come. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's that done. Nice and simple. Let's get the welding done before I get and repair some of these bits. Hopefully repair enough to get it all back together. Obviously, I'm probably going to have to buy all the body panels, but let's get the welding done. 600. Very, very cheap on that one. I did buy the car for just over 2,000, so not really surprised. But let's get you put away. It's looking pretty tasty, all repaired. I've got some bits to repair, and then I've got some body panels to buy. I'll meet you back here in just a minute when we get that body reassembled. I'll see you shortly. Well, it is time to get all of that body back together on the little Fiat 500. I have changed a few things. I've gone for a bit of a classic look. I took the, carbon splitter bumper off, and I've gone with a very stock standard chrome bumper on the front there. Gone with these lights. The hood you can't change, and I went with just a Fiat front end badge there. Doors are just basic. You get what you get. Same with the windows, same with the windows, same with the windows. I went for an unlabeled trunk without anything on it and the classic bumper. And I've gone for this lovely moon bumper with white writing on it for the Virtual Mechanic 500 EV. I managed to repair these lights, so I didn't have to buy them. They're the only option I could repair anyway. Let's get the body window in, the door in, and then the last window in. We've got to get the interior in. But the front clamshell, there's 3 options for this. Open soft top, closed soft top, or closed soft top with a little spoiler. As I was going old school retro with the bumpers, I figured I would not go for the old school spoiler or the open. I'm just going to leave it with a closed soft top on there. But that is the little Fiat 500 EV all back together. Looking at pretty good. Let's just check 100% on there. That's pretty tasty. Got to get some interior in, so let's crack on with that. This just wants the Typhoon seats. Nice and simple. And the steering wheel, it wants the Cape one. Looking pretty good in there. Looking pretty standard. That is the little EV. All finished off body. Let's head over to the paint shop. See what wonderful liveries Payne and French Toast have added in. And then pick what colour we're going to have for this lovely Fiat 500 EV. I'll see you in just a second. Well, I am shocked. No liveries for the little Fiat 500. I thought French Toast would have jumped on that from Payne and got some little liveries for this, but sadly there aren't any. Well, and with mine going to be being an EV, I decided to go with this matte green. Looking pretty good. Obviously, you've got the black outline on these windows and the windscreen, but not on the side windows. A little disappointed with that. Would have been nice if these were all black outlined as well, just to keep it in. But it is what it is. You can't really say much about it. It's looking pretty good. There's not really much else we can do. Throw some green colour underneath. Throw some green colour in a few places. Probably not going to throw much green actually underneath. Just going to do like the calipers and the springs green. Black out everything else under there. Not sure what I'm going to do with that little motor yet. Undecided. It is covered by that cooling fan and housing anyway. So we will see. But that's the colour I've gone for. This lovely little matte green. Let's get back on the lift. Let's get some other things painted. Let's get the suspension back together. I'll see you in just a second. Everything's painted on the little Fiat 500. Let's have a look. So I've gone for some matte black shocks with some matte green springs. And obviously the cap can't be painted. Looking pretty good. Pretty dark over here, but looking pretty tasty. Let's start throwing a few of these bits on the car. Now, as I said, there isn't a lot to this one. Obviously, once you go the sway bar and the steering rack, get that on and get the knuckle on, get the inner and outer tie rods on, and then let's throw some colour on. So we've got the lower suspension arms in the matte black, looking pretty good, along with the no upper suspension arms at the front here, sorry. Then you got the shock with the bit of green on there that you can't really see too well. Let's throw a few of these other bits on. Let's get it all on. No rubber bushings on the cross member because we have no cross member. Just want to get to that brake caliper and have a look at the green on there. So let's just crack on with it a little bit. Got the hub in black as well. Again, not that it matters because the wheel covers it. But let's have a look. It's got the green brake calipers on there, looking at pretty good. Let's just get rid of that wheel a second. That's not a bad colour. Let's step away. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Happy with that. That's the front end. Let's move on to the back. Again, not much here because it's all just supported by the rear axles or the rear knuckles. Rear knuckle in black there, then the lower and the upper support arms in black as well. And then obviously the shock should look a little bit better back here because of the angle it sits at. You should be able to see a lot more of the spring. Let's have a look. That's looking a bit better with the big chunky spring on it. Let's get to the brake caliper and have a look how good that looks. On you go. On you go in there. Let's get you on. Can't put the drive axle in yet because we don't have the motor in or the gearbox in. So let's get that caliper on. Let's have a look at that. That's looking pretty sweet in the black and green. Very happy with how that's turned out in there. Looking pretty sweet. I'm going to get on and get the other side done. And next up, we'll get the engine bay done. I'll meet you over there in just a minute. Suspension and brakes all finished. You've got the green calipers poking through all the way around there. Looking at pretty good with all the black accents underneath. Looking pretty smart. Let's get the engine bay sorted. All the bits in here that are missing. Let's start down at the front, which I can't get because I have to get them from underneath, apparently. Weird. We'll sort them in a minute, though. Let's get the brake servo on. Let's get the battery in. Obviously, I had to buy all of this because it was all missing from the car originally. On with the ABS module. Nice and easy. Again, some reason I've got to come back underneath and grab these, so I'll sort that in a minute. Coolant reservoir, on you go. And then we've got the radiator and the radiator fan housing and the radiator fan. That's it, apart from the batteries, which I'm now going to sneak underneath and throw in. Obviously, the engine won't fit in there over the cooling, but we'll sort that out a bit later on. I said engine again. It's definitely not an engine. It's a motor because it's electric. Let's get under here and get these EV units in. I don't know why you have to do these from underneath. There we go. They are the performance parts or the tuner parts, whatever you want to call them. But that is all of the underside done. All we've got left to do is build that motor and get it dropped in. Now, with that motor, I haven't done too much colour. I've sort of mostly just done black with a few splashes of green. So let's go and take a look. Actually, scratch that before we go and take a look. I have swapped it. It comes with the Eden 1H. No, it doesn't. It comes with the Proton ER, and I've swapped it to the Eden 1H. It's now already established that I've done that. Did I drop it in the car already? Maybe I did just to see how it looked, to make sure it fits. But yes, we have swapped that engine. Tiny little bit more power. I can't remember what it said at the beginning, but it's 299 now. So tiny bit more power on that motor. So let's go get this new one built. I do have all the parts. Obviously, I've got everything ready, and it is all painted. So let's get started. So the main housing, just in the black there. The stator and the rotor can't be painted, so they just sit there like that. Then we've got all of the black housing with its half smile, or full smile, half moon, whatever you want to call it, crest for the bolts. On you go. Then the end housing, nice and easy. Lots of bolts on this one, but it is just all blacked out. So far, so good. We've got a bracket that is in a green, just because. Then obviously underneath the AC compressor, because obviously you've got to have your air conditioning in a classic Fiat 500. The bracket support is also in the green, just to throw a tiny bit of extra colour. Now these are the performance parts, so you've got the charger performance part there, looking at pretty good, and then the power electronics performance parts there, both blacked out, looking pretty good. We've got a little green cover on the top here, just because, why not? And then all the cables are also performance parts, but they're just painted in the green as well. And that is the little electric motor all finished. Looking quite tasty. Matte black, matte green, looking pretty good. I'm going to grab a picture. Next up, we'll get it dropped in the car. I'm going to take that fan housing out just to theoretically make room for it. I'll meet you over there in just a second. Everything's set up. Let's get the little electric motor dropped in. I've taken out the fan housing. I've also taken out the trunk lid just to make a bit more room for my theoretical placing. It doesn't matter because it will just go through it anyway. But, you know, a little bit of realism here just to make it look fun. That's looking pretty good in there in the green and black. It is a shame that you won't... I'm pressing all of the wrong buttons. That you won't be able to see it because of the radiator and the radiator fan housing kit, which is unfortunate, but yeah, just completely covers it all up. Bit of a shame, but never mind. Let's get that trunk back on along with my license plate. Next up, I'm going to get them wheels finished. I've got some liquids to top up. I'm going to top up all of them, get the wheels finished. Oh, I've got to get the gearbox in, haven't I? And then get the drive axles back in. Sorry, words eluded me there. So let's get the gearbox in. Up you go. Oh, I can only do some of this from up here. And yeah, these bits have to be done from the engine bay. I don't know why. Very bizarre. So I've got to go down, up, down. So, or up, down, up, I should say. Down to get into the engine bay. So we can get them other two rotors on. If I could get in here. There we go. In you go. On you and on for you. And then back up in the air to get the gearbox in. Bit bizarre, this one. I don't know why you got to go up, down, but it's just one of those things. Let's get that gearbox on. Then we can get the drive shafts on, and then we can get the wheels done and get this one finished. Gearbox on. Let's throw the drive shafts in. In you go, step one. And let's get over here. I can't get around any further, which is a shame. There we go. In you go. Now I've got to pick which wheels we're going to have, what colour we're going to have, what style we're going to have. So let's get this closed up. I've also got to get them windows tinted as well. So let's have a look in the shop. Let's see what wheels we've currently got. Those are those ones there, the Rim 29A. What does the image look like? Let's have a look, see. See, I quite like them. That's what I want to go with. Something like that, maybe in a white with a chrome centre. Let's see if we can find some of them in the wheel shop. Let's have a look-see. So something pretty much full-coloured, but with a chrome centre. I don't think we're going to get that. Something like that, but I want to be able to paint that bit. Maybe if I just went for them, that bit looks a bit shinier in the middle, like that one, but not full shiny on the outside. Maybe that's the one. Let's just keep looking for a moment, see if we see anything that jumps out. I don't think so. Probably that's what I'm going to go for. Shame I can't paint that a little bit white. We'll give it a go. We might be able to. Doesn't look like it. I think that's the one I'm going to go for. So I'm going to go for these ones here. I'm going to sort out the sizes and stuff now. Rim at 34B. I'll see you in just a minute. Here we are then with the finished Fiat 500 little EV in its matte green. Looking absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love this mod. Well done, Payne. Link in the description below. Go and grab this one. Go and show him some love on the Steam Workshop. It is fantastic. Let's see what I've done with the rims. I did manage to get some white rims with some chrome centers. Now, these are the 34B. If you take them to the paint shop and paint them, it paints everything apart from that chrome center, which I absolutely love. So I went for these in a gloss white. They are 13-inch, which is 1 inch bigger than comes as standard, with 155 width and a 55 profile. The 55 profile is slightly smaller. Should be a 65 profile on the starting rim. That is the same all the way around. These do look absolutely great. It is a shame that I painted everything underneath and now you well and truly can't see it through all of this. But apart from that, that was my own choice, by the way. If I'd have kept the original rims, changed the wheels, I could have made that happen. The fitment on the back here, that is a little bit off, if you ask me, but it's just my opinion. It still works. It's still fun. Still cool. Same with the front bumpers, just a little bit of the fitment off. But I mean, let's be honest, that's probably just a Fiat's original fitment. It was probably awful. This license plate, sadly, has changed from black to white. I'm going to try and take it off and pop it back on. This is from the funky looking pack. I can't remember what it's called. I'll find out for you. I will link it in the description below. Artwork designs, they're looking pretty cool, quite fancy. But it is white there. As soon as you take the vehicle away from here and bring it back, it changes it to black for some reason. I like it white. I wish it would stay white. That looks pretty cool. Anyway, that's it. Normally I would jump in and say, this is what it sounds like. But this one here, being electric, it doesn't sound like anything. It just does this. As much as I do love that little sound, it doesn't really help. Turn it off. Let's put it on the dyno and see what power this little EV has got. Hopefully something pretty good, but I highly doubt it. I'll meet you over there now. So we did swap that engine. The starting horsepower on the Eden at 1H is 299 on the little Fiat 500. Have we added anything with some performance parts today? Let's have a look. An additional 92 horsepower, 31%. I think that has got to be a personal low figure for me at 31%. But let's put it on the track and see if it'll even make it to the other end. This tiny little 319 horsepower Fiat 500 EV. I'll see you in a second. Here we are then at the speed track with the 390 horsepower Fiat 500 EV. What speed will we get to by the end of the track? Let's find out. Not too bad off the line. Accelerates to 60 kilometers. Not too bad. A lot of wheel spin sounds. I have no idea why. But there's 100 kilometers an hour. Where will we end up from this tiny little EV? What will it top out at? If it tops out at all, we might not even make it to the end of the limiter by the end of the runway. But there's 200 kilometers an hour. And we're picking up speed now. We're doing all right. Where are we going to end up? Can we get towards the 300 kilometer an hour mark? That's what I'm aiming for. Can we get there? Different story though. Oh, we're doing all right. Come on, little EV, you can do it. Fiat 500, Fiat 500, Fiat 500. That's not bad. 285 kilometers an hour, then off the track. Not bad at all. Pretty impressed with that. Here we are then with the finished EV Fiat 500 in its matte green with matte black accents and gloss white wheels. Looking absolutely fantastic. Obviously, 285 kilometers an hour. This was never going to be in the top half of the speeder board, let's be honest. But 285 kilometers an hour does put it 67th out of 74. So that's not... I mean, I was expecting worse. It's better than I anticipated. I probably could have squeezed a bit more out of it, a few more runs, a tune in the gearbox, things like that. But I decided against it. It is looking absolutely fantastic, and once again, well done to Payne. There's a few different models of this. They're not all EV, don't worry. There's some engine models and things like that. Go and download this one. Have some fun with it. Link is in the description, along with links to this license plate pack in the description. Although it has gone black again, so let's take that one off and pop you back on so that you reappear again in the white. Don't know why it does that. For some reason, some plates just do it, some don't. But there we go. I think it's if it's white text, because these have probably gone black. Oh, no, you've never left, though, have you? Wonder if yours has changed. Oh, you don't have one because I took your bumpers off. That makes sense. But, yeah, pretty good. Very happy with this little Fiat 500. It has been a pleasure to absolutely work on this one. This one has been a lot of fun. And I'll just quickly say thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I'm on Car Mechanic Simulator video number 74, total video number 77. And I'm up to 81 subscribers, so better than a 1-to-1 ratio. So thank you to everybody. I am trying to get to 100 subscribers by my 100th video. If you want to help out with that, do click the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed or you don't want to subscribe but you want to help me still, like, comment, just watching the videos. The best thing you can do is to watch the videos. Definitely makes me happy to see I've got quite a bit of interaction going on from this lowly channel of just me talking whilst I play Car Mechanic Simulator videos. It's a lot of fun, so thank you all for that. Now on to some facts and figures about this little Fiat 500. As you saw at the beginning of the episode, I bought the car for $2,533 and got ever so slightly ripped off by about 200, just about. I have spent today $31,940 stripping and restoring, getting this to where we see it today in this lovely matte green with its white wheels and that beast of an engine or motor. Again, I keep calling it an engine that you can't see because of the fan housing and cover. But anyway, spent quite a lot. Total spend on the car, including the car, is $34,473. Let's have a look and see what we can sell this little beast for. 286,000 kilometers. Obviously, that was before it was engine swapped to the electric. 200 and that's wrong. Why does sometimes the electric motors... It's 390 horsepower on this car now, which was a gain of 31%. I don't know why that's disappeared, but it has. Anyway, let's have a look what we can sell the car for. 43,374. That's weird considering my spend was 34,473. Bit bizarre there. Anyway, take off the difference. Total profit to sell this one, 8,901 from the little Fiat 500. If you want to do a quick car that is a lot of fun and will make you a tiny little bit of profit, this is definitely the one for you. This has taken no time at all. I've definitely enjoyed it. Very easy car to dismantle, to build back up. Very fun to work on. But it is time to say goodbye to the Fiat 500 EV. Off you go for my 8,901 profit. Was a pleasure working on you. You will see, obviously, my money is considerably lower than it was. I was at about 21 million. I'm now just under 16 and a half. Not the car I'm going to be working on next. I'll show you that now. This is another one of the hot rods. We're back to the hot rods. One more to go after this one. This is the old Daddy T Sport Edition, which means it comes with the 2-carb supercharged engine. As I said, all of the ones I appear to have got that 2-carb supercharged engine. It's looking pretty sweet. I love the interior on this one. I absolutely love how that sits. Makes me think of like the Dastardly Racers and stuff like that. But this one's going to be fun. We're going to be working on this next time. But back to why I'm so low on money. Well, I did go on a little bit of a car spending spree to get some cars to work on for you guys. I'm not going to show you the cars. You're just going to have to wait and see. But there may be some Batmobiles coming in the future. Bear that one in mind. I spent a lot buying them. I'm hoping I can still make profit on them. I'm sure I will. But this is what we'll be working on next time. So you're going to have to tune in on Wednesday to see this. I do hope you all had an amazing weekend. Fortunately, now we're back to Monday, back to work for everyone like that. But thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.